So CTE full form is common table expression. We can also call it as with clause. And many times it is also known as subquery factoring. All of these word means the same thing, which is CTE. So what CTE is? What I mean by common table expression. So it's a kind of a temporary table which will run until we run our query. So here you can see my employee table if I run this. So can you guys see my employee table? Okay. So what CTE is? It's a kind of temporary table, and let me write it here so that you guys can also note it down. Temporary table that will be there until you run your query. It's a kind of temporary table. What I mean by that. So to make a CTE, we will just use a with clause. After with, you can name your CTE. You can name your CTE like anything. You can name your CTE Pragya also as. Then you will write a word as, and then you will put a bracket. For example, I am taking employee ID and I am taking employee name from my table. This is my employee table from my table employee. Is it employee or employees? Let me see. Employer. So that's how you can create a CTE. So I'm using this CTE as select star from Pragya. Now I'm considering this a one table. So if I run this, if I only run this statement, this will give me an error. Because I said you before that it is a kind of a temporary table which will run until you run this syntax. I have to run this whole syntax while we are running a subquery, while we are running a CTE. So here you can see that now I have created a CTE with name Pragya in which I have employee ID and employee name. Do you guys get this much? Is this much clear to everyone? Do let me know. Okay, so Rahul has said no. Okay, let me repeat it. So what CTE is? It's a kind of a temporary table that will run until you run your query. So what I mean by that? If I only run this statement, this will not work. Why this will not work? Because I have said that it's a temporary table which will run until you run your query. So you have to run your whole syntax so that your like server will know that you are making a CTE and you are opting these things in that. So that's how you can create it. So to create a CTE, you will just use a with clause. You can give any name to your CTE. You can even give CTE to it and then just use as. After that, you can write what you want. So I'm writing select employee ID. Right now, I'm not telling you its use. I will tell you its use when we move towards the question. But just see here how we use it. So I'm using this from my employee table. So we have created the CTE. Now I have to run this. So I will write the simple syntax like that. I want to see my whole CTE like we see our whole table. So that's what I have written. So here you can see that I got my two employee ID. For example, I want to see, I will tell you Rahul when we will move towards the questions. Okay. You will get to know. So for example, we only want the employee IDs and we only want the employee IDs where ID is greater than, let's say 111. We will just write the same syntax that we have read before, but we have created a CTE, which is like a temporary table. We have created the CTE, like we have only taken employee ID and employee name from my employee table. This is my table and I am fetching out the result from this. That's what we are doing right now. And for running it, for taking the records from that, we will run the whole query. That's what I want to tell you. Is this clear to everyone? Everyone, Vijay, do you get like a little bit what I'm trying to tell you? Rahul and other people. Okay. So now let us talk about some questions. We can also use multiple CTEs. So if I want to create one more CTE, you can just put the comma and you can write CTE2 as, like you can put another name. I have just used CTE2 as another name to create another CTE. And I can use anything. For example, I want, let's say, employee ID only. Let's say I'm taking this part in my CTE2. You can take it like that. And if I run this query, select star from CTE2. Now also you have to run your whole query to get this answer. So here you can see that. Is this clear how you can make multiple CTEs? Just put a comma and put CTE as, CTE2 as. Or like you can give another name also. You can give any name. You guys can give your name also. Is this clear to everyone? Not clear. So Pankaj, I am just saying that you can create multiple CTEs. For that, you just have to put the comma and you have to start CTE, like you have to give any other name and then your as statement and then you can give your query. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And for running that syntax also, you have to run your whole query. You will get it when we will do the questions more better. Right now, if you guys are not able to understand, don't worry. You will get it when we will do some questions on that topic. So I want the employees whose salary is greater than the average salary, right? So how we can do that? So I want the employees, let's say I want employees from my employee table whose salary is greater than the average salary. Having salary greater than average salary. This will be my syntax for this, right? How many of you are thinking? Yeah, we can use different table also in CTE too, Sadish. How many of you think that this statement will run? Okay, so okay, let's use group by also. We want the salary and we want the average salary. And what we want that my salary, let me write it here, group by salary. How many of you think that it will give me the correct answer? No, it will not give me any answer. Yeah, we have to find out the average value first. I just told you before that this thing will be always on the left side. Just focus on that before. So how we can do it? First, we will find out the average salary. First, what we will do, we will find out the average salary. So how we can find out the average salary? I want employee ID, comma, I want to find out the average salary. I want the average salary of all employees, so I can find out like that from my employee table. That's how I can find out the average salary of employee. So I have used that only, na Vijay? Do I have written group by for aggregate column? No, I haven't. I have. Let me write that query again. So I want to find out the average salary. I want the employees whose salary is greater than the average salary, right? Yes. So I want the employees. What you want me to write it here? Tell me the syntax. You guys can write me. I will just copy down that because I'm unable to know what you guys are not able to understand here. I want the salary greater than the average salary. So how will you get that? If I write like that, salary, I want to find out that my salary should be greater than the average salary. Let me write here. So what should I write and group by? What you want me to write this in text? It will not be able to work in any way. You can't do it with the help of subquery or CTE. I haven't talked about subquery yet, so don't focus on that now. We will cover that in our next class. Are we able to do this question without the things that we haven't learned? Tell me, guys, what you want me to write it here. If I write here like that, I want employee ID. Let me write it here. So it will not give me anything. If I just run this, it will give me employee ID and the average ID. So the answer will be same. If I just run this, you can see that I'm only getting the salary. It's just doing that only. It's not giving the average salary of all the employees. Can you see that? Vijay and other people who were asking me, are you able to get that what I'm trying to tell you? So that's why we will not be able to do this. If I even write it here having salary greater than average salary, it will not give me any record. Why it will not give me any record? Because it's only taking the average salary. It's finding out the average salary for each employee only. For 101, the salary will be the average salary, na? Because we don't have multiple employees with the same IDs. Correct? So that's why we will not get any answer. That's why we are getting vacant things. So how will we be able to do this? So let me tell you how you will be able to do this. So first, I just find out the average salary. Okay. If I write and I'm giving it a name as, let's give it a name as average salary. If I just write like that, select, I want, let's not give anything. So I'm just saving it in my CTE. I'm just saving it in my CTE. You can give any name you want to. I'm just giving a name as CTE only. You can give any name that you want to. You can give your name also. Okay? Now what I want to have, let me just execute my employee table so that I can see that. So I want to have the employee names whose salary is greater than the average salary, correct? Then I want salary also, and I want average salary also, so that I can compare. Now from which table I want. So I want all these data, these two data is in my employee table. So I'm taking employee table here, and this average salary data is there in my CTE table. So I'm writing this CTE here. Okay. Now my where condition is where my salary is greater than what? We have given the alias here. So is greater than average salary. Now if I run this, I will get all those employee name whose salary is greater than the average salary. You guys can compare. This is the average salary and these are the employees whose salary is greater than that. Any confusion to anyone? Anything? You guys can ask me. Are you able to understand this question? Because I will be giving you one. No, you guys are not able to understand it. Andri? Okay, so you guys are not able to understand. Okay. So what I did, Rahul, first I find out the average salary. Then after that, see here. Okay, Rahul, see. First I find out the average salary. And then I just compare that my salary should be greater than average salary. That's it. What I did, my question was there only, no wrong. I want employee name as well as I want the salary and I want the average salary, let's say. Okay, from my table employee. And then where salary greater than average salary. Let me remove it, this thing. Let me remove that part also. So my confusion was there now that how can I do that? How will I be able to find out the average salary? Correct? Correct, Rahul? Yes. So I just find out the correct so before I find out the average salary by using my CTE, then I just use my employee table as well as my CTE table to get all the records that I wanted. And then I just compare that my salary should be greater than the average salary that I have created. Any confusion to anyone now? Yeah, employee table is necessary. How will you be able to get the employee name and salary then? Senthil. That's why I have written. Any confusion to anyone? Like why I put employee comma CTE and how it's working? And one more thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that when you are using an aggregate function in any column, you are using an aggregate function in any column, right? If you are using any function in under the CTE, then you have to give that column a name, like I have given. I have using a average function, right? For my salary. So I have given a name also to that average salary. Why have I given the name? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, normally we put it. You guys can put that also. Senthil, you want me to explain this from part? I can explain. Tell me, guys, who don't know this from part, how it is working and everything. Yeah, so we have used it because we can't have any table with no name, na? Can a table exist with no column name? Can a table exist with a no column name? No. So that's why I have given a column name to that. That's it. Okay? That's why we give a name here. It's like a temporary table, but it will run until you run the query. It's not a temporary table. It's like a temporary table which will run until you run the query. You have to keep that thing in mind. And how many of you have confusion in this from thing? How many of you want me to explain this part? Like how this from works? Okay, let me explain. So I'm using my A database. Okay, so that no confusion will be left for anyone. I don't want any confusion from B. Okay, so I'm running these two tables. Can you see that? Okay, if I write like that, select star, then I'm writing from A, comma B, then you have to give a where condition where A dot ID equals to my B dot ID. So I am giving a where condition here. So if I run this part, I will get the common records where A dot ID is equals to my B dot ID. Okay, let me run this. I got 3. Only 3 is common there. That's why I'm getting 3 here. If I see this, 3 is the only thing that is common. Is this much clear? Tell me everyone. If I just remove this where part, what will happen according to you? What will happen according to you if I just remove this where part? Will this query run or not? It will run. It will run, but the thing is, it will give you cross product. What I mean by cross product means all these things will go with all these datas. Like this 5 will go with all these 4 things. These 3 will also go with all these 4 IDs. Are you able to get that? All these things will be gone with all these things. So how many records will I get according to you? How many? Yeah, like cross join. Like cross join. Yeah, yeah, right, Bhargav. So how many records do you think you will get if I run the statement? If I run the syntax, how many records you guys think I will get? Yeah, correct. I will get 8 records. So see here, am I getting the 8 records? And all these things are going with everything, like we did it in cross join. So you get that, how this from thing works and how you can use it. Yeah, to remove that Cartesian product, you just have to use the where thing. Okay, Senthil? And you can give the condition according to you that you want to give. Any confusion to anyone? Okay, so you guys have only two choices. You can either write yes or no, so that I will be able to understand if you want to ask anything, if you want me to repeat anything, or any confusion you are having in any question. Okay, so I think you are not facing any confusion. So let's see one question that you guys have to do. I want you guys to do it. So find out the average of each store. So before that, how you will find out the average of each store? So before finding out the average of each store, you want to find out the total of each store. Average of stores here. Let me write not each. I want to find out the average of all the stores. So before that, you want to find out the total of each store. Then after that, you can calculate the average. Are you guys able to understand the things? You are asking me how you will get the employee table? I have sent you before also. This is the same employee table that we have used many times. If you want that, I will send it to you again in the group, Priyanshu. Okay, many people are not active right now. So do you get what I'm trying to tell you here? So here, if I just run the sales table, you can see that Apple Store is repeating a lot of time. Similarly, Apple 2, Apple 3 is repeating a lot of time, and Apple 4 is repeating a lot of time. So first, what I want to find out. I will just give you the table and you can import it in your SQL server, Priyanshu. You can import that table in your SQL server. So to import any table in your SQL server, you just have to go on your databases. If you don't remember how you can do it, so you can click on your any database that you have created. Click on any, right click over there, and then you will get a task option. Go there and then go to import flat file. Then you can import your flat file that you want to import. Next, then you can import it and just click on next and finish. That's it. That's how it will be imported in the database that you have chosen. Okay, Priyanshu? One video is also given. In the drive link only, one video is also given. You can see that. Okay, what about others? So I was talking about one question. Here it is. So I want to find out the average of all these stores. So before finding out the average of all these stores, how you will be able to find out? Tell me that. If I just sum all of all these numbers, what is the average? Average is the sum of all the numbers divided by how many numbers we have, correct? Count of numbers, right? Okay. So how many? So we can sum it like that, but here the thing is the number of stores is only 4. We have only 4 type of stores here now. We have only 4 type of stores. So we have to like sum of all these prices as well as divided by 4. So how can we do it? We can do it by finding out the total of each store first. First, I can find out the total of each store, like how much Apple store one price is, how much Apple Store 2 prices and how much Apple Store 3 prices. Like, what is the total price of each store? First, we can find out that, and with the help of that, we can find out the average. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to tell you? Senthil, Vijay, Priyanshu, and other people, Henry. So, do you guys want to try this question? Yeah, try this. No matter if it's wrong or right, try this and send it to me so that I can check how much you guys are able to understand the things. No, no. So I just told you, na everyone, if I just find out the average salary, it will be wrong. Cause why it will be wrong if I just find out the average of all the prices? Cause it will just sum of all the prices and it divide it by the 11 rows. Cause we have 11 items. That's why. But we don't want it in that way. We want to have the sum of all the prices, but we want to have the count of my average stores, like count of my store's name. We have four type of different stores name, right? So I want to have the count of different store name, which is four. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. No, this will also give you the wrong answer. So what we can do is we can just find out the total of each store, right? How we can find out the total of each store? Just try to solve this question. How we can find out the total of each store? We did these things before also. How to find out the total of each store? I know you guys are feeling it a little bit tricky because you guys are doing this for the first time. But when you do practice, then you will become handy on these topics. I know these topics are not easy. Yeah, correct, Senthil. So we can just find out that with the help of group by. How we can find out? I want to have the store name as well as I want to have the sum of my price from my table employee. That's why I said you guys to have a strong command on the previous topic that we have learned. Then I want to do the group by of store name. So if I run this much, what will I get? If I run this much, what will I get? Store name it is, no? Price Is it the employee table only? Let me run it over there. Okay, it's sales table. Okay. So what will I get? Employee name I have written. Oh, not this question. Here we are. Sales. So if I run this much, what will I get? I will get all the stores name as well as the sum, like the price they are having, how much they are earning. Yes, it will give me the total of each store, right? That's how we find out. Now I want to find out the average of these things now. This will sum everything and it will be divided by the number of stores we have. Correct? So I will just make it in my CTE. I'm naming it my CTE only. And then what I want to find out the average. Here, what thing I have missed? Can anybody tell me what thing I have missed here? Yes, Priyanshu. What thing I have missed here in this? No one is trying to tell me that's like a very surprising thing. No, in this thing, what have I missed? Comma? Where have I missed the comma? Column name I have missed. I have to give the column name where I'm using any function because a table can't be without a column name. I told you that thing before, right? So I'm giving it a name as sum of price. Now I want to find out the average of what? I want to find out the average of price from which table? From my which table? From my CTE? Will I get my average now if I run this? Yes, I will get. So the average is 6050. You get this question, everyone? Any confusion in this? Okay, now just make this question a little bit lengthy. So now what I want to do is I want to have those stores name whose sum of price, I want to have those stores whose sum of price is greater than average price. Try to solve this. I have just extended this question. Try to solve this. Take your time, try to analyze and think what you can do. Okay, am I audible? Am I audible, Cynthia? Okay, so see here. You have written sum is greater than the average sum. So do we can use aggregate column in our where clause? Can we use any aggregate column in our where clause? Yeah, try to see mistakes. No worries, you tried it. That's a good thing. I'm not able to get you, Priyanshu, but you are trying to write it here. No, this is also wrong. You have to make two cities. I'm giving you like one hint. You have to make two cities in this question. Your answer is wrong, Vishali. You have used two aggregates in heaven. We can only use one aggregate function in heaven. That too on the left side. Try to use that on the left side. And we can only use one aggregate in our heaven clause. So your answer is wrong too. We have to use two cities in this question. I'm giving you a hint. See here, guys, we have already made one CTE where we have find out the sum of price. Then just make this another city where we are finding the average. And then you can combine both the cities and can give the answer where my this sum of price is greater than my average price like that. I have explained you. Now try to write that in the form of sentence. It's it's fine if you are not able to do this, but it's not a very simple topic. If you are doing this wrong for the first time, that's always fine. But try to like practice as much as you can so that you will not do the question wrong that you are doing right now. But one thing I must want to say that you guys are doing very wrong things that I was not expecting you to do it. Like you are using aggregate function in the where clause. You are using having with two aggregate functions. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting more other mistakes, but not that much. Because if you are going towards the advanced topic, your basics should be clear. Because these advanced topic are the combination of basics only. You're using a lot of basics in here now. So that's why. Try to revise all the previous topics that we have learned and try to like practice as much as you can. Okay? So do you want me to solve this? Any one of you is able to solve this? Anyone? Okay, let me solve that question. So what I want to have it, I want the stores where sum of price is greater than my average price. So here, as I said, I will make one more CTE. I'm giving it a name as CTE2. And there, I just saved it this part. That my average, I just find out the average. Now, I want to have everything from my both CTEs. So I'm writing CTE, comma CTE2. And now I will write where. Here I have to give the column name. I'm giving average price, where my sum of price is greater than average price. Let's run this. Is this clear to everyone? What I did in this question, is this clear? Vishali, Senthil, Andri, Rahul, and other people. Vijay, Yes. Okay. So let's see what else we can do. Okay. Now one question for you guys is that I want to find out the average of each product name. Yeah, that's true, but like you also have to make the thinking like how will I be able to do it? You will also be able to do it, Henry, when you will practice now, you will also do that. It's not that difficult, it's difficult, but not that much that you will not be able to understand the things. So my question is that I want to have the average of all product name. Okay. So here you can see that I have product name now. I want to find out the average of all those products. No, I want to have the average of price only, but for all products. Not for all stores name. I want to have the average of price only, but for all products name. Okay, Priyanshu? No, Henry, I don't want like that. I want the average of all products. So what you have to do, this is the same question like the story one. But in that you have to use the product name. So first you have to find out the total of each product. Then you find out the average of all those products. Then you will get the average. Okay? Now try to solve this now. Try to analyze this question. Senthil, you are almost correct, but you did a mistake. The after query that you have written, select product name, comma, average sum. You have written like that. Now, I just want to have the average of that sum. That's it. I don't want the product name. If you write like that, now I want the product name. Then you have to put that thing in group by also. And if you group by that, then you will get the average for each product, which will be equal to your sum only. Are you able to get what I'm trying to tell you, Senthil? No. Okay. Yeah, I will run this. Wait. So this was your CT and this is your query. So if I just run this part, you can see that it will not run. Why it will not run? Because you are using an aggregate column with a non-aggregate column. So did you think that this thing will run without group by? But if I just run this much part, it's giving me the sum and the product name, right? So these are the sum and the product name. If I just find out the average of each product, it will be the same as sum, na? Average of each product will be same as its sum. What is average? Sum of all the prices divided by the number of product we have. So sum of all the prices divided by 1 will be the same thing. So you have to remove that part because I only want to have the average. Okay, Senthil? Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you? So, okay, let's see. Okay, so you have made it a CTE, but you haven't find out the average with the help of that CTE, Pankaj. Try to find out the average also. Your first query is correct. Okay, Vishali, just one thing that I want to ask you. I just want to know that why have you written? First, you have to write the why what you are trying to do this with this query. Yeah, your answer is correct, Priyanshu. You did it yourself? Okay, good. So, Vishali, I'm asking one thing from you. I'm not getting angry. I'm just asking you that thing. That what you are trying to write in this part. Why have you written this part? I just want to ask you that so that I can analyze your. You want to find out the product name? No. See, Vishali, your this query is full wrong. Because what we did, we first find out the total. Then from that total, we want to find out the average. So that's what we have to do. We just want to find out the average from this total price from my table CTE. That's what you have to do. That's it. Are you able to understand this thing? If I run this part, So I got the average. Okay, so how many of you are still trying this question and how many of you were not able to do so? What about Henry and Vijay? They are not even replying. I also got mistake. Okay, that's fine if you get the mistake, but I think you are able to understand this part, right? What about you, Henry and Bhargav? Bhargav is also not replying today. Okay, you are keeping trying. Okay. Do we name the column name? In this query, it's not compulsory to name any column because we are not making it inside a CTE. We are not making it inside a CTE, but when you are giving any query inside that CTE, then you have to give that. I have given you the reason also because a table can't be without a column. So CTE is like a temporary table only, which will run until you run the whole query. Right, Vijay? And then we are fetching out the things that we used to fetch out before. Okay. So shall I move forward then? Okay. Everything is correct, Henry, but one thing that you did wrong is why have you used group by here? Why have you used group by here? I just want to have the average. That's it. If you did the group by, it will like divided everything into the parts. Now your answer is correct. If you just, if I just use, if I just use this part, what it will do, it will give the average of each product name, which will be same as your sum only. It will give the average of each product name, which will be equal to the sum that you are doing. So that's why you don't have to use group by. If you use it, you will get the wrong things. So now your question is, if do anybody have any confusion in anything? Anyone? Okay. So one question for you guys is that I want to find out the sum of price greater than the average price. So what I want to find out, I want to find out those products. I want to find out those products whose sum of price is greater than their average. Yeah, you have to do practice. Without practice, this topic will not be able to cover. And for like when you will do subquery also, no, it's like kind of similar only. So I want those product whose sum of price is greater than the average of price. Try to solve this, everyone. Good, very good, Priyanshu. Uh, Vishali, you did wrong. What's your mistake? Let me tell you. So here in the where clause, you put that your sum of price is greater than the average price. Tell me the order of execution. Which thing will run before? Where thing will run before or the select clause will run before? Do you remember about the order of execution? No. In order of execution, where will run before? After that, let me write it down here. So what's your order of execution is? First from will run, then where will run, then group by. After that, your having clause will run. After that, your select clause will run. And after that, your order by. Okay? So which thing will run before here? After seeing this order of execution, what do you think which thing will run? Where will run before? So how it will know that I have used, okay, you haven't used the alias even, and you have put that your average price is like, are we able to put any aggregate function in our where clause? Can we put that? Can we use any aggregate function in our where clause? It will be like that. No, you have that thing. No, we can't put it like that. So why have you used it even? You have put that thing. Do we have any column of this name average price? Have you made any column of this name average price? No. So why have you put that? You have to make that column first. So how will you make that column first? So to make that column, you just use select average price. You can give it a name as average price from my table. It's my table CTE now, not sales. So now what I want to find out? I want to find out, I want to have everything from my CTE and CTE2 where my sum of price is greater than my average of price. That's what I want to find out. This is the same question that we did for store also. Okay, Vishali, do you get this? So let's see CTE2 as average of some price. A little bit mistake is there. So that's the thing that we have. So let me see other answers also. Vishali, Vijay. Your answer is correct, Vijay, but I haven't taught you about subquery. Your answer is correct, but I haven't told you about subquery. So how you did it? And you don't even need to use that even. If you use that part, you can just write like that way also, na sum of price, and here you can write the average. Why have you put the select and other thing? Why have you used subquery here? You will get the correct answer, but why have you increased the number of words? So you get the answer. Your answer is correct. Good. Now Vijay's answer. Vijay, you did the same mistake. Can we use any aggregate function in our where clause? Vijay, I'm asking you something. Can we use any aggregate function in our where clause? That's your answer with CTES. And then you have created a CTE2. Just don't forget to put the comma. And then you have used where. So we have created two tables. Just think it as a two table that you have created. Now you want to have the things from these two tables. So just think that way that you have two tables and you want to have the things from there. So I want to have everything. This is correct. Where you haven't give the column name here. You have to give that average of price. Where my sum of price should be greater than my average of price. Okay? You have to do in that way. So you are also getting the correct answer. So here you can see the average and the products that you are getting have more than the average price. Correct? So let's see. Senthil, your answer is correct. Your answer is correct, Sim. Let me run this so that I can also see. Incorrect Sim. With CTE 1S. Okay, don't put the gap in between. Either put the like underscore or don't put the gap. Okay. So your answer is also correct, Senthil. Good. Any confusion to anyone? Those who did wrong, any confusion to you? Bhargav, today you are not replying. Any confusion to you? Okay. Okay, no worries. You will practice, and if you face any confusion, to let me know. So let's talk about one very a little bit like advanced question. So here it is. I have sale table and I have product table. I will run this. Here you can see that I have sale ID, I have product ID, I have sales amount, I have sale date. Correct? And in my product table, I have product ID and the product name. So what I want to do here is, so assume that today is this date. Today, just assume that today is this date, which is 15/5/2024. What I want to find out, I want to identify the products with declining sales to the previous period. What I mean by that. So first, I want to find out previous month sale, previous 1 month sale. Okay. Then after that, I want to find out the second month sale, like the 2 months before sale. month before sale if my 1 month after sale, this sale is smaller than this one, then my product will have a declining sale, right? Are you guys able to understand it? For example, you're selling a toothbrush, okay? So you want to find out your sale is increasing or decreasing. So you just analyze the data of your 1 month and then you analyze the data of your previous month. You just analyze the data of January and then you have analyzed the data of the previous month, which is December, correct? And then you just compare the sales. If the sale is down for January, then my sale is declining. If the sale is up, then my sales is upgrading, correct? Are you guys able to understand my thing that I'm trying to tell you? Okay, so how we can do it? So as I told you, first we want to find out the sales for 1 month before my 1 month. So how I can find out? So I will just write I want to have the product ID and then I want to have sum of sales amount because you can see that one product is repeating a multiple times. So I want to have the sum of that. Then only I can like compare the things. From my table, sale, where, how will I get the previous month sale? Like that, where my sale date is greater than equals to my date at. I told you about date at function when I was teaching you about functions, correct? Month. And then I want to have the previous month, so -1. And my current date is this. This will give me all those products and the sum of their sales for previous month. Correct, everyone? Let me group by also because I am using aggregate column with a non-aggregate column. Product ID. Is this much clear to everyone how I find out the previous 1 month sale? Yes. Okay. Now I want to find out the 2 month sale, but I want to find out the 2 month sale, like the December one. January one should not be included, correct? So how will I be able to find out? I will just copy down this part. I can find out this way. And my month should be -2. And what else I want to give? And this thing should not be included, correct? If this thing will include, how will I be able to compare? So this thing should not be included. So I will just write this thing and I will just opposite the sign. Is this much clear to everyone? How will I head the 2 month sale like the previous month? Did you get that? Okay. So for example, uh, it's May right now, correct? It's May, Senthil, right? So first, what I will do is I will find out the 1 month sale. So I will find out the April wali sale. Then after that, I want to compare that April month sale with my which month? March one sale, right? I will compare this April sale with my March sale. So how will I be able to find this March sale? This will give me both the sales for March and April, correct? So if I remove the sales for April, if I just remove the sales of April, then I will get the March one sale, correct? Senthil, are you able to get this part now? How I did this and why I did this? To let me know, everyone. I know this question is a little bit lengthy, but I want you guys to understand this part. If I just use date art, what date art will give me? This thing, only this part. What it will give me? It will give me the sales for April as well as March. But I only want to have the March part. So how will I be able to have the March part? If I just subtracted my April part, correct? So that's what I did here. Nothing extra, I just did that thing. Is this part clear to everyone? Both these things. So now I'm just saving these two things in my CTE. So this here I'm giving a name as my CTE1 with CTE1, comma, and here I'm giving a name as CTE2. Okay, now I want to compare both of these things together, right? So here, sales I want to compare. So I will write sales of my month. Let's give it a name as April month. Let's say previous month. And here we can see, we give it a name as sales of second previous month. I'm just giving any random so that I can be able to remember all, both of these things. Okay, this much is clear. Now I want to compare these two parts. So how will I be able to do that? So I want to have everything. So I'm writing star from my both table, CD1 and CD2, because I want to compare both of these part. Where my what? What will be the declining sales? If my previous month sale is lesser than my previous month sale, right? If this sale is lesser than this sale, if my April sale is lesser than my March sale, then it will be a declining month, correct? Then it will be a declining product, correct? Am I correct? Yes, correct, everyone. Correct. Sales of my previous month is smaller than my sales of previous two. Two previous I have given a previous two. Let me see it here. Previous two, and I'm joining them on the basis of their product ID. Join on the basis of their product ID. CTE1 dot product name have I used or product ID? Product ID I have used. So product ID equals to my CTE2 product ID. Okay. Where CTE2 is missing? Okay. I did a mistake. Let me check this part with CTE1. Now let me run this. Where did I did the mistake? One, group by this, CTE2 as this, and I'm comparing them underscore after product. Where? Okay. Just let me just see the tables. I did a lot of mistakes, I guess. So this is my table. So I have used product ID and some of that. Group by this. Then here also I find out that from sale. After where clause, where join Okay. Yeah, so I got the product. So 1 and 2 product ID, you can see there that their previous sales were lesser than this by 2 months sale. Can you see that? So is this question like have you understood this question, everyone? I know a little bit of silly mistake I did. So have you guys understood this question, everyone? Will you be able to do this again yourself? How you will be able to do this with the help of case when sentence? Can you tell me? Okay, so with the help of case pen, how you want to do it? I just want the explanation like that. You can open your mic and you can tell me. I will just stop the recording and you